In the heart of Nigeria in West Africa, Abuja, there lived a young woman named Chioma. Born into a life of poverty, Chioma had known suffering from the very beginning. She grew up in a small village on the outskirts of the city, where her family hardly had enough to eat. Her father was a poor farmer, and her mother sold vegetables at the local market. After all the suffering, Chioma had decided to rise above her situation. She had big dreams of escaping the trap of being poor, even though things looked against her. Her life changed one fateful day when Chioma met a man named Jide. He was rich, accomplished, and caring, and he was known as one of the most important businessmen in Abuja. Jide was about 35 years old. He was friendly and confident, like a man who had worked hard to become rich. He had also started from nothing himself, which gave him a weakness for those who were having a hard life. When he first saw Chioma at a charity event where she was working as a cleaner, something about her caught his attention. She had a calm pride about her, and her eyes, filled with purpose, reminded him of his own journey. Jide came to her, giving kind words and telling her not to give up. What started as a short talk grew into meeting many times. He would come to the charity events many times, looking for her. Chioma was at first shy around him, not sure why a man like him would be interested in talking to someone like her. But over time, they formed a bond. Jide admired her strength, her refusal to let her situations define her, and soon he found himself wanting to do more than just offering her kind words. One day, he gave her a job at his company, starting as his personal assistant. It was a great chance for Chioma, a chance to finally escape the life she had been living. She took the job with thanks, and so began a new part of her life. Working with Jide opened doors she had never expected. He paid for her to take business classes, allowed her to travel, and gave her access to a world she had only seen from far away. As months turned into years, Chioma succeeded under Jide's guide. She became sure of herself, improved, and well-informed about the business world. Jide had become more than just her boss. He had become her friend, comfortable to be with, and eventually a lover. They fell in love, or at least that's what Jide thought. He saw Chioma in his level, a woman who had started from nothing to stand beside him. Not listening to the warnings of his family and friends, Jide married her. It was a well-known wedding, with all the things of riches and society. For Jide, it was the height of his love and trust in Chioma. The first few years of their marriage were filled with happiness. Chioma lived in comfort, surrounded by all the things she had once only dreamed about. Jide loved her so much, he always would like to confirm she had everything she wanted. He trusted her completely, never questioning her plans or wishes. But as time passed, the connection in their relationship began to change. Chioma, who had once been thankful for Jide's support and love, started to change. Her newly found riches and position gave her a feeling of power she had never known before, and soon, that power began to spoil her. Chioma started spending more time with the top women of Abuja, meeting them at social events, and attending private parties. It was at one of these parties that she met Kola, Jide's closest friend. Kola was a successful businessman on his own, attractive and well-liked by everyone. He was known for winning over people and very wise, but also known for dating many women. While Jide was shy and kind, Kola was bold and carefree. At first, the way they talked was innocent. Kola had always been friendly with Chioma, often joking and laughing at her during gatherings. But soon, the playful jokes turned into something more. Kola began talking sweetly with Chioma openly, praising her beauty, and making her feel more wanted than she had in years. Chioma, who had grown tired with the stability of her life with Jide, found herself attracted to Kola's excitement and boldness. Their affair began in secret, a passionate and dangerous game that Chioma couldn't resist. While Jide was away on business trips, Kola and Chioma would meet in private, indulging in their forbidden love. Chioma felt alive in a way she hadn't in a long time. She no longer saw Jide as the man who had lifted her from poverty. Instead, she saw him as a means to an end, a stepping stone to the life she had always wanted. Months passed, and their affair deepened. Chioma became more distant from Jide, but he didn't suspect a thing. He was too busy with his business, too trusting of both his wife and his best friend. Chioma used this to her advantage, carefully hiding her tracks and keeping the affair out of sight. But as their relationship grew, Kola began pushing for more. He wanted Chioma to leave Jide, to be with him openly. Chioma, intoxicated by the thrill of their secret romance, began to consider it. The opportunity presented itself one evening when Jide returned home from a long trip. He had noticed Chioma's growing distance and wanted to talk. Sitting her down, he asked if everything was alright between them, his voice filled with concern and love. Chioma, for a moment, felt a pang of guilt. Jide had done nothing but love her, support her, and believe in her. But the guilt quickly passed. In her mind, she deserved more excitement, more adventure, more than the quiet, stable life Jide offered. So, instead of confessing or trying to save their marriage, Chioma told Jide that she wasn't happy anymore. She said that their relationship had changed, that she had changed, and that it was time for her to move on. Jide, heartbroken and blindsided, tried to reason with her, but Chioma had already made up her mind. The next day, she packed her things and left. The divorce was swift. Chioma, armed with high-priced lawyers and supported by Kola, ensured that she walked away with a substantial settlement. Jide, devastated by the betrayal, didn't fight her. He couldn't believe the woman he had loved and helped rise from nothing could be so cold and calculating. But the worst was yet to come. Just a few months after the divorce was finalized, Chioma and Kola announced their engagement. It was a slap in the face to Jide, who now realized that the woman he had trusted with his heart had been plotting behind his back with his best friend. The news spread quickly through Abuja's social circles, and people were shocked at the betrayal. But Chioma and Kola didn't care. They were wrapped up in their new life together, reveling in the luxury and power they now shared. For Jide, the pain of losing both his wife and his best friend was almost unbearable. He withdrew from public life, focusing on his business to cope with the heartbreak. Friends who had once admired him for his generosity and kindness now pitied him, whispering behind his back about the betrayal he had endured. But as time passed, the cracks in Chioma and Kola's relationship began to show. What had started as a passionate affair soon became a relationship filled with tension and lack of trust. Kola, who had always been a playboy, grew bored with Chioma's demands and constant need for attention. He began seeing other women, and it wasn't long before rumors of his cheating reached Chioma. The very thing Chioma had done to Jide was now being done to her. She realized too late that her relationship with Kola was built on lust and ambition, not love or trust. Kola had no intention of being faithful or committed, and Chioma found herself alone once again, betrayed by the man she had risked everything for. In the end, Chioma had lost it all: her marriage to Jide, her friendship with his circle, and her standing in Abuja's elite society. The betrayal that had once given her power had now left her isolated and empty. As she sat in the luxury home she had once dreamed of, Chioma realized that no amount of wealth or status could fill the void left by the loss of true love and loyalty. Jide, on the other hand, slowly began to rebuild his life. He focused on his work, surrounded himself with people who honestly cared for him, and finally found peace. Though the scars of Chioma's betrayal would always remain, he had learned to move forward, knowing that his heart, though broken, had not hardened. And so, Chioma's rise and fall became a lesson to those who knew her, a reminder that ambition without love leads to nothing but heartache, and that true worth lies not in what you have, but in the people who stand by your side, solid in their loyalty.
Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed it, please like and share with your loved ones and let me know what you learned in the comments. I always enjoy hearing from you all. Until next time, bye.